Ready?
No.
No.
How many of you have taken SATs?
Nope.
Okay, so how many of you took the SATs again because you didn't, well, how many of you have taken the SATs again after the first time?
Haven't yet.
How many of you plan on it if you don't do well the first time? Is that so you look better, so you can send the better SAT to the college? Yes. Okay. Good morning, classmates and Mr. Redican. My name is Gadi Zimmerman, and I will be debating on the negative side. Resolve that the SAT is an improper evaluation of a student's potential in college performance. Although John did so before, I would like to define a few definitions for you. To start, according to Merriam-Webster Dictionary, SAT stands for Scholastic Assessment Test or Scholastic Aptitude Test. Improper means not in accord with fact, truth, or right procedure. Evaluation or evaluate is to determine or fix the value of. And lastly, potential is defined as existing in possibility, capable of development into actuality. But I'd like to define one last thing that is not in the resolution. The SATs are a standardized test for everyone across the country. Standardized is to compare with a standard, and standard is made from a model or example. Meaning, all of the SATs might have different questions, but they are the same standard and have the same degree of how hard each test is. I will be talking to you today about 3 major arguments against the resolution. Why the SAT is one of the only valid ways a college can actually critique you, the test is not a one-time thing, and you have ways to take the SATs you prefer. First, there are different ways administrators run their school in each different place around America. Like us, some schools have honors classes, which can raise your GPA. In some schools, their highest GPA can only go to a 4.0. There are different schools that have many extracurricular activities, and some that barely have any. But the one thing that every state has in common, is that everyone that takes the same standardized test for college. The SATs are the one way the college boards can judge their applicants fairly. For example, let's say there are 2 kids named Bob and Jim. Bob has a 4.0 GPA, and Jim has a 4.8 GPA. In Bob's school, they didn't have honors classes, so he actually had the best GPA possible in his school. Also, Bob is part of 5 different clubs, and even is president of one of them. Jim is only in student government because all the other clubs were cut from his school for financial aid. Finally, Bob's SAT score was a 2100, and Jim's was a 1900. If you compare each statistic, one might skew the other. But the SAT score, because they were tested on the same things, it was obvious that Bob did better. How can the SATs be improper when they are the same for everyone? Now, you're also allowed to take the SATs more than once. According to collegeboard.com, 55% of juniors taking the SAT improved the second time as seniors. This test is not a one-time thing where it will determine your life forever. If you do not do as well as you hope, you can always retake it more, and more than half of juniors do better when they do retake it. The SATs give a chance to do better so that you can go to a better college. If you don't go to a college that prepares you for the SATs, you can always get tutored and take SAT courses to do better. If you cannot afford to pay for the classes or a tutor, like John said, you can buy books that teach you different skills and help you to do well on the SATs. Taking the SAT, and you can also take classes in school that don't cost any money either. Taking the SATs for some people can be very annoying, especially, like John said, if you're very bad at math. Or it does not have one of the subjects you excel in, like history. But there are also SAT subject tests for people that want to take history, or that love biology, or even Spanish. According to collegeboard.com, there are 20 different subject tests you can take, which these subject tests are also there for many colleges that are also asking for them now. And this is still the SAT. This is still the SAT. So how does this give an improper evaluation to the college if you do really well on it? How are the SATs an improper evaluation of yourself when you excel in them? Everything on the SAT is geared from what things you will need in life, the essential information you have to know after school. So this is a proper evaluation because it evaluates what your skills would be in college. All the things it does not evaluate would be heard from your clubs and your resume. What other ways is there that is the same? What other way is there that is the same across the country? Ladies and gentlemen, I agree that the SAT should not be the one thing that gets you into college, and it doesn't. Colleges look at your GPA, different clubs, different sports. But the SAT is the one thing that they can look at and know that it is the same kind of SAT as the other applicant, and that the one next to that, and the one next to that, and the one next to that. So it will not be the decider of getting, this will not be the decider of getting into college, but it will help colleges because it is the same standardized test everywhere. Thank you. Please vote negative.